Okay, so for the next question, we'll start with Jordan. Keeping in mind that Fanshawe College has several campuses across southwestern Ontario, what facility improvements would you advocate on these campuses?
In order to properly advocate facility improvements, I would need to obviously attend those campuses, see what they have currently, maybe what's lacking, what they can improve upon, and speaking to the students. Those are the students that are really utilizing those materials, those campuses, those facilities, to see what they believe needs to be improved upon. It's great for me to say what I think, but I attend main campus. I only know really the issues that are going on main campus, other than those that have been raised at SAC meetings and by students via social media. So to attend those campuses and really speak to the students and witness the facilities that they have before making any recommendations moving forward would be the key to dealing with that issue.
Okay. Heather?
I would start off by saying that I don't know the answer, and I don't have the answer. But I am very, very quick to admit when I don't know something. However, I would make sure that not just the YNZ building and the CDPA building downtown are looked at, but I would also really advocate for the Woodstock campus. I think we can really reach out to them, especially with the FSU. My sister-in-law actually attends the Woodstock campus, and she went on FOL today to vote for me, not realizing that she has her own FOL. So things like that, this is where a message isn't getting across. So I really think that we can reach out and connect with them more on certain issues, but possibly tie in the two FSUs together and even make both stronger.
Carly?
Yep. So to go along with all the different campuses and everything, we are continually making some really amazing improvements. For example, here in January, we'll be kind of releasing this brand new building, it's the Wellness Center, big $24 million structure. It's huge. It'll be part of your universal fees and everything. Everyone will get a membership to it, and it'll be absolutely incredible. And that's one of the things that we noticed that we didn't have, a lot of other schools had, and a lot of people have complained about it. And so this is us addressing that issue. So if elected as president, I would definitely be interested in listening to the St. Thomas campus, the Simcoe campus, the Woodstock campus, Y campus, as well as that, as well as the CDPA and the brand new Kings Mills one that'll be downtown fairly shortly, I think. So it'll be a lot of communication, it'll be a lot of reporting back from Student Administrative Council, and even like visits and that kind of thing too. So we are definitely looking to make improvements because we are continually improving our own buildings within our main campus here and within the community also.
Abdi?
Actually, this question kind of hits home for me because I actually study at the Y building, which is at the London airport. And for me, we have a ton of issues that we need to see addressed. And I'm the Student Administrative Council for School Transportation Technology, Aviation Technology. So I try to address the issues that we have and present them to the SAC and also to student unions so that we can figure out ways to change and make it better for us. So I understand that one of the best things that we need to do is to talk with students from those campuses and also to talk to their representatives and see what they would like to see change and what their input is. And that's all that would help me do my job and also help them so that they would see that we're here for them and that we can provide more services.
And Maria?
All right, so the campus facilities need improvements. We've already started with Wi-Fi, improving that. We already started in the campuses like Woodstock, I think, and St. Thomas, and we've started improving their Wi-Fi, and we're bringing that next year to increase our Wi-Fi so that you only have to log in one time, and then you will be logged in for the rest of the year. Really, I just want to go to those campuses, visit them, speak to them, and get what they need to improve there. And we already have brought communication from the other presidents there at those campuses, and I plan on really communicating with them and finding out what they need to improve their campuses. overall, just communication is very important, and I think that's what we need for improving our campuses.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll start with Carly on this one. 2 students approach you. One student wants a high quality but more expensive food option on campus. The other student wants more fast and cheap food on campus. Keeping in mind that we must accommodate kosher, celiac, vegan, halal diets, what do you do?
What do I do? Oh, I like this question. I'm really, part of my platform is bringing more diverse and affordable type food services on campus and everything. So that kind of question is definitely on my radar. Like, for example, like the Oasis, we already do accommodate a lot of stuff. It is a little more heavily priced, but it's also a higher grade of food products too. We actually, unfortunately, don't have a ton of like back and forth with Charlos, who owns the majority of the different food places on campus. But we definitely do have a bit of a push with the college to kind of push for more affordable, for more diverse, for more like higher quality, healthier meals. So one of the things I'm definitely interested in this year is bringing in more healthy options, especially in places like the Oasis, as well as at Back Shack. Ways to make it affordable, it's usually one or the other for the most part, but it's definitely something that I'm willing to definitely research and look into and really have a good conversation with students.
Maria?
All right, so if these students came to me about our food services, I would say that we also provide the services here at the Outback Shack and at the Oasis, so we can definitely instill change within those facilities, and we could, if you want higher quality products, we could try to provide those, and we could provide those healthy options that you may want, maybe even like vegetarian options for those who are vegetarian, and gluten-free options, so that we can really bring a whole bunch of different options there for students to eat, and maybe even have smaller portions. We've already started bringing in smaller portions into the Oasis so that you can get the small or the large, and that way it's cheaper, because I find that the amount there is a lot of food just given, so we already brought in the small portions, so ideas like that would be great for lowering the cost.
Okay. Happy. Ben Heather.
Okay, well, we already provide some services over at Oasis and also the Outback Shack, and I would try talking with the students. We'll talk to the 2 students, since one wants a higher quality food and one also wants more budget friendly, and I would try to see what some of the options that we could do, like maybe as we stated portion sizes, and also talk to some of the culinary coordinators, because I don't really know that much about how much food and also the price value that they would go for, but they would probably be the best ones to talk with and see what we can do and to bring everyone to make the happiest option for both of them. Thank you.
I think it's important to note that both students' issues that they're bringing forth are valid. Someone wanting more fast and affordable options. Right now, lineups tend to be really big. If you want fast and affordable food, normally it's Tim Hortons. In Tim Hortons, we don't really have a lot of necessarily healthy options. Sometimes you just want a healthy snack, and your option is a donut or a cookie. So these lineups, there's not really any fast options, but also if you want something healthy that you're probably going to spend a lot more for, those things are available at Oasis, but they're not necessarily accessible. Everyone can get there, but it's on the other end of the school for a lot of us. So something where we can merge and expand on these 2 ideas, possibly bringing in more fruits and vegetables, that you could just go over to Pizza, but maybe they have a little food stand or fruit stand where you can grab an apple or an orange or a granola bar, and something that's a little bit more healthy and fast. But I think both of those issues, fast and affordable and healthy, and maybe we're going to be spending a little bit more for, I think are both valid.
So the issues that these students have brought forward are issues that we've been hearing already this year. Students want healthier options, they want more affordable options, and they also want food that they can take quickly. Part of that is working together with our hospitality department and ensuring that we have options that will suit all of the students here. It is important that we have vegetarian options, gluten-free options, celiac options, halal options. Every option needs to be kind of accounted for in some way. Unfortunately, it does take some time to make those changes. It's difficult to find providers that can provide us with all of those options and at a good price for us so that we can pass that price along to the students. So working with our hospitality department and ensuring that we continue to do the research required on these options and looking at different ways to provide foods to students and also listening to the students and what they're actually looking for, because maybe what they want is something that we can easily offer, but we just haven't listened to them and what they're looking for. Moving forward with the new Health and Wellness Center opening, that will provide us with some spaces where we can look to diversify kind of the options that we have, and I know that we've been into some discussions about what we might like to put in those places, so that could be something to.
Okay, so everyone had a chance to respond? Okay, we have a question from the floor. Go ahead.
I have a question about the residence here at Fanshawe. So I did residence last year, and it was really great. Like, close to the school, to walk here, easy. But this year I chose not to do it, simply because it's quite expensive. It's twice what I pay now for a room that's 3 times as big as I have now. So, mainly, how would you make it more affordable? And also, I've talked to other students who've done residence, and there seems to be problems with the buildings, like plumbing doesn't work sometimes, ovens aren't accessible or broken, same with the laundry machines. So how would you make residence here better, basically better for students?
I can take this one. Actually, last year I worked as a front desk receptionist at the different residences, so I worked with the company, and I just kind of transferred from building to building. And you are absolutely right. Building ceilings coming down, water pipes breaking, issues in stairwells, and the laundry machines often out of order. So you're not far off by any means. Something to keep in mind is that being an RA actually does bring down the cost of that, but I think that's something that we can expand on to make it more accessible. I don't think necessarily one RA per floor is enough. I think 2, and that would actually make it more accessible for more people to do it. But also I think there needs to be more conversations happening between those residences, between the people running the buildings, and FSU and the Fanshawe College. That needs to be a discussion where everyone is at the table and at present. But absolutely those need to be looked at.
Jordan?
Okay, so part of my role this year has been to deal with residents of the VP Athletics and Residence Life. Sorry, I can't see you over this thing. But it's a sticky issue. Unfortunately, we can advocate on behalf of the students, but FSU doesn't really have any say of what Residence does. Residence is a separate company from Fanshawe, from FSU as well. So unfortunately, we can't necessarily control a lot of what they do, but what we can do is speak with the students and provide their voice kind of moving forward to the management of those corporations and try to advocate on behalf of the students to get them the best possible deal, whether it's something like lowering the price and ensuring that they're keeping up with maintenance and things like that. Those are the issues that I see to hear from you right now. So maybe that's something that we can look at moving forward. Again, we hear a lot of these issues, but nobody really wants to come and tell us much of what's going on. They just want to say, it's too expensive, or there's an issue with this, but we don't necessarily hear enough from students to do a lot moving forward. But if the students were to come to us with those issues, we can definitely put together a sort of committee to deal with those issues and sit down with the management to properly advocate on behalf of the students to look for reduced pricing and better maintenance at the residences.
Carly?
Great. I just want to say that I love what Jordan said. That's pretty much everything that I had floating through my mind right now. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and if you're to elect me as president, I would definitely be holding the next vice president athletics and residence affairs more accountable for their interactions with the residents as well as with the RAs. I think the RAs are really key people to talk to, as that's their life. Their life is being an RA, and they're super incredible people. They have a lot of interactions with a lot of students, so I'm trying to build some sort of bridge between those two areas. Jordan is correct. Residence is actually owned by an SI company, SI Fanshawe. It's owned by Sodexo. That being said, as a union, it is our job to advocate for students, and that's definitely something that needs to happen. It's definitely something that I'm holding that position, especially accountable for, as well as myself.
Maria.
All right, so I have never been at residence. I've actually visited there a few times with my friends, but I do notice that there is no like ovens on every floor, or like definitely like laundry is only on one floor, that kind of thing. We definitely can't control that, but we can definitely try to advocate for you guys, and just I believe that we only have one meeting usually at the beginning of the year or middle of the year with the RAs, and I think we should have maybe month by month meetings with the RAs to really see what the problems there at the campuses, at the residents are, and really talk with them and communicate with them so that we can properly advocate for you guys.
Me, I actually live with family, so I don't really know much about the residences. I would talk with Vice President of Athletics, President's Life, and try to work with them to see what we can do to advocate for the students, because living in those conditions is not fair for anyone, and also to make sure that the maintenances are scheduled and on time, because I've heard students who said that they're going to get washing machines and they never got it until a couple of weeks later. Then these isn't good for anyone, and I want to just make sure that timeliness is brought up, and also that make sure that they enjoy their stay instead of being aggravated or annoyed being staying at residence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I have a couple questions left. This one, what do you think is the biggest issue affecting students? How would you address that issue?
You can take that one.
For me, honestly, I think that the number one, most important is a communication. It's not just word of mouth, it's not just posters, it's not just the social media platform, it's not just FOL, it's all of it. We have some really cool stuff here. The FSU is doing some really incredible things, but the message is not being delivered. It's not being delivered through FOL, it's not being delivered through text messaging, it's not being delivered properly using those kind of platforms efficiently. I mean, we have Vine, we have Pinterest, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, there's Facebook, and the message is still not getting out. So I think the way that messages are being moved around and sent out Fanshawe, that is where the focus needs to be met. Because we could do some really awesome things, but if people don't know about it, it doesn't matter how awesome it is.
Great.
All right, I agree with everything Heather said. Communication is definitely one of the biggest things that we need to improve on. Since she already spoke on that, I'll speak on something else. I think that environmental issues are a very big thing that we need to focus on. We need to focus on maybe like in the Oasis right now, we're giving the options of using plates and returning those plates afterwards, and instead of the containers. Maybe we could use recycled paper instead of having our posters just on papers that are just not reusable and just recycled afterwards. You could use recyclable paper and just use material that has already been recycled. Like at some of our events right now, we use the plates and whatnot that are recyclable. So I believe that we really need to focus on our environmental issues.
Carly.
Absolutely. I actually based my platform on 4 different pillars of what we do here and what is most important to students. I'll reiterate again, is advocacy, culture, diversity, transparency, and communication. We've already touched a bit on communication, but I think communication is definitely key. We are a union, and it's extremely important to have a really good bond with our student membership. But I'm mostly going to talk about advocacy. It's the kind of thing that happens behind the scenes. You don't really see it much. But it is the part that touches every single student across the board. It's absolutely the most important thing. So one of the biggest things that I'm focusing on this year is advocating and building different networks and stuff like that within the community. Because as a community, we're powerful, we're extremely strong. So within Fanshawe College, we have amazing bonds with a lot of the vice presidents and stuff here. And we actually do get a lot of stuff done, but it's usually behind the scenes. A lot of students don't normally see it, but it affects everybody. It's also super important that we do go into the City of London, we do build those bonds, and we do advocate the things that students need. Because London is such a large student population too. Not speaking of student population, we also have Western University. And Western University and ourselves, we kind of created like a bit of a bond over the past year. And with that, we've created an incredibly powerful force for advocacy. Just even within the London area and with our two schools, which are very, very large. We have a very large say. For example, the pre-budget submission that was just passed was partially because of our bond within the community and with Western and with those types of affiliates. So that's my biggest concern for the year, and that's one of my biggest things I'm looking into, because I think it's incredibly important and it touches everybody.
Who's up? George?
All right, so my biggest concern moving forward next year is pretty similar. It touches on communication, it touches on advocacy, and it touches on all of these things. But unfortunately, we do a lot of this without really knowing what students want. Part of that's the communication issue. We do a lot of advocacy, just hoping that it's best for students, but without being able to get a lot of information from them because of the lack of communication. So communication, I think, is definitely the biggest issue kind of moving forward, and it's definitely something that we need to get sorted out. There's multiple different ways that we can kind of go about it. One of those ways is to try to figure out how to get students engaged with us. We have this great service that we offer. We offer many great services through FSU, but without having any student involvement and student engagement within the FSU, from outside students, other than those that are running the councils and things of that nature, it's very difficult for us to be as productive as we could be if we were to have outside communication from other students informing us of kind of what you guys would look for moving forward. So my biggest concern for next year is building those bonds. It's great to work outside of the college and outside of our kind of constraints, but internally we really need to build the bonds with the students and set FSU up so that we're in the best situation possible moving forward.
Okay. Abdi and then Maria. Did you? Don't want to go again. Second time? Abdi.
I feel like communication is a big issue that we need to improve on. As you can see, there's not many people here at the moment, and one of the issues is that some students don't know about some of the services that we provide, such as the health plan, for example. There's a lot of students that don't use that to its benefits, and I want to make sure that students actually know about some of the services that we have, and also how we can advocate them to the best of our abilities. And that's basically what I want to do, communicate and advocate as best as we can.
Okay, this is the last question from Jordan. We'll go on down the platform. What makes you, to sum up our Q&A, what makes you feel that you are the best fit for president compared to the other candidates?
What makes me the best fit for president? So if we go back to the beginning, the very first question, I believe that I really do have the most experience. I've been a president before, I've been a vice president, I've been a student representative, I've been a class representative. So realistically, all of that experience combined with the knowledge of what's kind of currently happening within the FSU environment, as well as having the drive to go and talk to students and get the students engaged with us, really striving to put on the best events that we can for the students, and focusing solely on the students rather than focusing on myself. And being that catalyst for the students, realizing that all of us are elected by you, the students. So it's very important for me to ensure that all of my team, if I am elected, would be communicating with yourselves, because we're representing you. So if we don't have any communication from you, if we can't properly advocate on your behalf, we're not doing the best that we can be doing. And I feel that my drive and my experience would make me the best fit ahead of anybody else at this stage.
Abdi.
What makes me the best candidate for you? Because I understand that I may not have the most experience as some of the candidates here, but I want to grow and constantly get better and improve my skills and to talk with you and to understand your opinions and your input, to see what I can do to be a better president and to also make your year a wonderful year. I am improving on my skills and I want to keep improving. And I want you to enjoy your year and I want to see what you can do. Because Fanshawe here, we're here to unlock your potential. And I want to unlock my potential and I want to see you unlock your potential. Thank you.
Maria.
Alright, so why I think I'm the best fit for president is that I want to bridge that communication between the student body and myself and our team at the Fanshawe Student Union. I want to provide the services that you guys don't even know you have, and I want to really share my experience that I have here at the Fanshawe College and the experience that I have among the community. I'm part of the Greek community here at Fanshawe, in London, and I definitely have a lot of ties within London, and I'd like to share those communications among them. And I really do understand that you want to have your style of events, your style of services, so I just want to talk with you, and that's why I think that I'm the best fit for the president, because I want to hear your voice and get exactly what you want from us.
Heather.
I believe that I'm the best candidate because I have the least amount of experience in FSU and on campus. And I think that's a strength because I'm not coming in to this position with any misconceptions or any ideas of what have been done, what's possible, what's not possible. I'm a fresh slate. And I really, really want to bridge those gaps to really build on the communication because I'm a third-year student and I haven't been getting all these messages about things happening. So I know what it's like being on that end. I really want to bridge those gaps and make the connections better between student to student, student to campus, as well as student to London, Ontario. That's my big thing, communication all the way. Love you guys too. And the baby.
And Carly.
That's awesome. Okay, you should vote me for president because I've been around this school exceptionally long. Like, if I was in Harry Potter, I would be a final year at this point, I'm pretty sure. I'm working on one of my degrees and also working on a postgrad certificate, also known as This is Paper 4 and 5. I love this school, I've been here forever, and I'm also very passionate about this. I do have experience. I've improved myself as a student leader this year in multiple different ways, and I'm super passionate about it, honestly, I love it. I'm actually not done my program yet. If elected as president, I would be taking a year off and then completing my program after that. Like, that is how exceptionally excited I am for this type of thing. And I think I have a lot I can bring to the plate. Something I'm really interested in is definitely motivating my own executive team. I think that's incredibly important. They need to be motivated, and I also really want to get in there, develop a really good relationship, and develop them as people and as student leaders. I think that's so important. And I think it's just an absolutely fantastic experience to learn and get in there and kind of understand the way organizations work and understand the way colleges and the education system works and understand interpersonal relationships and that kind of thing, and just build those really good core skills that are transferable later on into the workplace. So those are a lot of things I'm super passionate about. You probably already heard my speech, you probably already heard my platform. And I just hope that you vote for me because I have a lot of really good stuff in store. I'm super interested in engaging with each and every one of you. And I just have a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of really cool stuff.
Okay, that concludes the presidential Q A and the executive election program for today. I'd like to thank the candidates for putting their names forward and attending today's Q&A. I'd like to thank Fanshawe TV for recording today's session. And also thank you in the audience for attending and listening to the candidates. Voting is March 7th through 10th on FOL, and there will be polling stations around the college as well. Thank you and have a great day.